Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare.
Srinidhi going to move?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam. I just make you the co-host. So welcome all. I'd like to wishing you all a very Krishna conscious, happy New Year, a blissful and prosperous year that you all make spiritual progress in leaps and bounds. So today's first Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya class will be by His Grace Srinidhi Prabhu, and we will hear from Prabhu from Canto 5, Chapter 4, Text 8 to 9. Prabhuji, over to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, wishing everybody a very happy devotional New Year. Of course, this is not our New Year actually. Gaur Purnima is our New Year. However, the year is changed, so we wish everyone a good year 2024 devotional service. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devyam Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टकीम् शृण्वतं स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृदयन्तस्तु हे अभद्राणि विधोनति सुवृत्सताम् तथा राजस्तमो भावः कामलोभादयश्च ये चेत एतिरनाविद्धिं स्थितं सत्त्वे प्रसीदति एवं प्रसन्नमनसो भगवद्भक्तिर्योगतः भगवत्तत्त्वविज्ञानं मुक्तसङ्गस्य जायते. Hare Krishna. Ivattin divasa, today we will have Canto 5, Chapter 4, verse number 8 and 9.
Prabhuji, do you want me to share the screen?
Yes, Prabhu, please.
I do.
अथ हा भगवान् वृषभदेवः स्ववर्षं कर्मक्षेत्रम् अनुमन्यमानः प्रदाश्रितगुरुकुलवासो लब्धावरैर्गुरुभिरनुज्ञातो गृहमेधिनां धर्मान् अनुशिक्षमानो जयन्त्यम् इन्द्रदत्तायम् उभयलक्षणम् कर्मसमानायाम्नातम् अभियुञ्जन् आत्मसमानानां सतं जनयाम् आश. Word by word meaning. Atha, thereupon, after the departure of his father, ha, indeed, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vrishabhadeva, Swa, his own, Varsham, kingdom, Karma Kshetram, the field of activities, Anumanyamanaha, accepting as, Pradarshita, shown as example, Gurukula Vasaha, lived at the Gurukula, Labda, for having achieved, Varahai, gifts, Gurubihi, by spiritual master, Anudnyataha, being ordered, Grahamedinam, of the householders, Dharman, duties, Anusikshamanaha, teaching by the example, Jayantyam, in his wife, Jayanti, Indradattayam, offered by Lord Indra, Ubhaya Lakshanam, of both tribes, Karma, activities, Samamnayam Mnatam, mentioned in the scriptures, Abhiyunjan, performing, Atmajanam, sons, Atmasamananam, exactly like himself, Shatam, 100, Janayam Asha, begot. Translation and Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. After Nabhi Maharaj departed for Badrikashrama, the Supreme Lord Vrishabhadev understood that his kingdom was the field of activities. He therefore showed himself as an example and taught the duties of householder by first accepting brahmacharya under the direction of spiritual masters. He also went to live at spiritual master's place, Gurukula. After his education was finished, he gave gifts, Guru Dakshina, to his spiritual masters and then accepted the life of a householder. He took a wife named Jayanti and begot 100 sons who were as powerful and qualified as he himself. His wife Jayanti had been offered to him by Indra, the king of heaven, Vrishabhadev and Jayanti performed householder life in an exemplary way, carrying out ritualistic activities ordained by Shruti and Smriti Shastra. Purport: being an incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vrishabhadev had nothing to do with the material affairs. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Pavitranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam. The purpose of an incarnation is to liberate his devotees and to stop demonic activities of non-devotees. These are the two functions of the spiritual Lord when he incarnates. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said that in order to preach, one must live a practical life and show people how to do things. Apani achari, bhakti shikshamu sabare. One cannot teach others unless behaves the same way himself. Vrishabhadev was an ideal king, and he took his education in Gurukula. Although he was already educated because the Supreme Lord is omniscient. Although Vrishabhadev had nothing to learn from Gurukula, he went there to just teach the people in general how to take an education from the right source, from Vedic teachers. He then entered householder life and lived according to the principles of Vedic knowledge, Shruti and Smriti. In his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.101, Srila Rupa Goswami, quoting the Skanda Purana, states, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidhim Vina Aikantiki Harer Bhaktir Utpatayaiva Kalpate. Human society must follow the instructions received from Shruti and Smriti, Vedic literature, practically applied in life in this worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead according to the Pancharatrik Vidhi. Every human being must advance his spiritual life at the end, return home, back to Godhead. Maharaj Vrishabhadev strictly followed these principles. He remained an ideal grahastha and taught his sons how to become perfect in spiritual life. There are some examples of how he ruled the earth and completed his mission as an incarnation. So this next verse is a very small verse. We will complete that and we'll go for the discussion. 5.4.9. Esham khalu mahayogi Bharato jeshtaha shrestha guna asid enedam varsham bharatam iti vyapadishanti. So I will just go to translation and purport. Of Vrishabhadeva's 100 sons, the eldest, named Bharata was a great exalted devotee qualified with best attributes. In his honor, this planet has become known as Bharata Varsha. Purport: this planet known as Bharata Varsha is also called Punya Bhumi, the pious land. At the present moment, Bharata Bhumi or Bharata Varsha is a small piece of land extending from Himalaya mountains to Cape Comorin. Sometimes this peninsula is called Punya Bhumi. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given a special importance to the people of this land. Bharata Bhumi te haila manushya janma yara, janma sarthaka kari kara para upakar. One who has taken his birth as a human being in the land of India, Bharatavarsha, should make his life successful and work for the benefit of other people. The inhabitants of this piece of land are very fortunate. Then can purify their existence by accepting this Krishna consciousness movement and go outside Bharata Bhumi and preach this cult to benefit the whole world. Om Adhyanathimirandassya Dhyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Gurum Sri Jutapadakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitam Shcha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnapasthaya Bhutane Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Charini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vishnupada Hare Krishna. So just to recap 6 and 7, 6 and 7, Maharaj Nabi is been glorified here. He said to glorify Maharaj Nabi, there are 2 verses. One of them is, who can attain the perfection of Maharaj Nabi? Who can attain his activities because his devotional service, Supreme Personality of Godhead agreed to become his son. So next one is, Nabhi was worshipping Brahmanas. So even Brahmanas, qualified Brahmanas, they also gave blessings. So because of the Brahmanical prowess, Maharaj Nabi, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan in person. So these are 2 verses. In this particular verse, we have a lot to learn. Supreme Lord Vrishabhadev understood that his kingdom was the field of his activities. He therefore showed himself as an example and taught the duties of the householder by accepting brahmacharya first under the direction of spiritual masters. He also went to live at the spiritual master's place, Gurukula, after his education was finished. This you can see also in Lord Krishna's, when he came as a Swayambhu, we can't call it as avatar. So after he came to Mathura and killed Kamsa and released Devaki and Vasudev, after that he actually, Devaki and Vasudev sends Krishna and Balaram to the Gurukul of Sandipani Muni's ashram. This is just to show that they are taking very important, what is that called here? Accepting as a spiritual master, teaching as an example, anukshimanaha. So they are example for all of us that one has to go to Gurukula, learn under the qualified spiritual master. And also he gave gifts as a Guru Dakshina to his spiritual master, then accepted a life of householder. So in the Krishna's arena also, he goes to the Gurukula of Sandipana Muni in the Ujjain. And when he was about to come out of Gurukula, then Sandipana Muni, when he actually wanted to make a Guru Dakshina, his Guru asked the Guru Dakshina as to bring back his son who has actually died. So this was the opportunity even Yamaraj was waiting for Krishna and Balaram to visit his place. So these are all very important, things that we can take. We also want Krishna and Balaram to come to our place and reside in our house. Even Yamaraj was waiting for Krishna to come to his place. So next, Rishabhadev actually took a wife named Jayanti he got 100 sons who were as powerful as he himself. And Jayanti actually was given by Indra, heaven, king of heaven, who Vrishabhadev and Jayanti performed household life in an exemplary way, carrying out the ritualistic activities ordained by the Shruti, Smriti, and Shastra. Being an incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vrishabhadev had nothing to do with these material affairs. We all know. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But he actually does all these activities for all of us. And when Supreme Personality of Godhead comes in this material world, he has purpose. Pavitranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha drishrutam. He comes here to protect the devotees, sadhus, pavitranaya sadhunam vinashaya drishrutam. So he actually want to remove all these non-devotees, demonic activities from the non-devotees. These are the two functions the Lord appears. Mahaprabhu has said, in order to preach, we must have a practical life. You can't just preach. If you want to ask someone to stop smoking, Prabhupada gives this example. And first of all, you should not be smoking. Apani karimu bhakta bhava angikare apani achari bhakti shikaimu sabare. I shall accept the role of a devotee and I shall teach devotional service by practicing it myself. See, this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Chaitanya has said, I want to practice myself and then I want to preach. So in Bhagavad Gita also you can see in the 3rd chapter, Yad yad acharati shreshtat tad eva charo janaha sayat pramayam kurute lokastat anuvartate. Whatever action a great man performs, common man follow. And whatever standards he set by exemplary acts, all world pursues. So people in general always require a leader who can teach a practical behavior. A leader cannot teach a public to stop smoking. He himself smokes. It cannot happen. Lord Chaitanya said that teacher should behave properly before he begins teaching. These are all Prabhupada words. One who teaches in that way is called Acharya or ideal teacher. Therefore, a teacher must follow the principle of Shastra to teach the common man. The teacher cannot manufacture rules against the principles of revealed scriptures. In the same chapter, in the 15th verse, it says, Yad yach chirshanyacharitam tat anuvartate lokam. Whatever action is performed by a great man, common man follows. So Vrishabhadev, as an ideal king, he took his education in the Gurukula. So although he was educated, because the Supreme Lord is omniscient, he had nothing to do with Gurukula. That we have discussed this. In the verse also it is Prabhupada makes this comment. He went there just to teach the people in general how to take an education from the right source from Vedic teachers. He then enters the householder life and lived according to the principles of Vedic knowledge. In the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami quotes, Shruti, Smriti, Puranadi, Pancharatra vidim vina aikantiki harer bhaktir utpadaiva kalpate. This quote is made in the purport. The Vedic literatures composed by the omniscient Mahamuni Vyasadeva are the evidence of all spiritual existence. Only through these revealed scriptures can all conditioned souls attain knowledge. Human society must follow the instructions received from the Smruti and Smruti, that is, Vedic literatures. Practically applied in life, this is the worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead according to Pancharatrik Vidhi. So we all know there are two Vidhis, Pancharatrik Vidhi and Bhagavat Vidhi. So every human being must advance his spiritual life, and at the end, we return back to Godhead, return home back to Godhead. So Maharaj Vrishabhadev strictly followed all these principles. He remained as an ideal grahastha and taught his sons how to become perfect in spiritual life. So he had 100 sons. Out of them, Bharata was the eldest, but all the 100 sons, they had all good characters. So these are the some examples of how he ruled the earth and completed his mission as an incarnation. So then the question might come, why is he going to school? Why is he getting married? So, you know why we have to go to school in material world? Because to earn some livelihood, earn some money. But Rishabhadev actually taught us how to take education from Gurukul, how to be a grahastha, and how to have children. Children should be, if you are not a good father, if you're not teaching your children a Krishna consciousness, important. So if the Lord has nothing to do with the material affairs, then why is he engaged in these activities? Prabhupada actually clarifies this in Bhagavad Gita. Pavitranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushtatam. In order to protect the good and destroy the evil, the Lord has the mission. So these are the two functions of the Supreme Lord when he incarnates. So the Lord has a mission. He may appear in the material world and it looks as if he's behaving like one of us. But there is a purpose or a mission. This is not for the material sense gratification, but rather he descends for spiritual purposes. So if you see the sun, sometimes we don't see the sun because of the clouds. But sun never comes under the clouds. He always remains in that superior position. So similarly, Krishna remains in the superior position and never falls under the influence of the material energy. And Krishna says in many verses in the Bhagavad Gita also, yet sometimes he just chooses to enter the material world. So it looks he is under the influence of material energy. But when Krishna comes to the material world, he is not touched by the Maya, material energy. So it appears as if he is assuming the material form. But actually those forms of the Lord are not material, but there is a lot of spiritual potency in them. The human life is especially meant for revival of our relationship with the Supreme Lord. And for this, all kinds of austerities and penances should be done. By austere activities, one's heart can be cleansed of the material contamination. So that is why in this material world, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very mercifully has given Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama Iva Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranyata. So very important for this Kali Yuga is Harinam. So if you chant the Harinam, Hare Krishna Mahamantra in this Kali Yuga, that is the only way that we can get out of this material world. So we all know that human life is so precious, very important, because after so many births, there are 84 lakhs, 8,400,000 species. Out of that, human life is so important, so precious. Prahlad Maharaj also says this in the 7th canto, because human life is so precious that we should never even waste this life. If you waste this life, again you will go into Nicha Yoni. So there are so many Nicha Yonis down below the human life. So this is very important that, we all have got very fortunate. We are very fortunate that we have got a human life. So we should make use of this opportunity to get out of this cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. So to attain this perfection, one has to take a shelter of a devotee, the spiritual master, and serve him. Then only you can see the door of the liberation opens. So spiritual master gives us the mantra, and we catch hold of this mantra and very attentively we have to chant Lord's names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yesterday, you have seen how nice the prasadam, different prasadam with devotees who have prepared with love and affection was actually served to many people. So many have appreciated it. So instead of going somewhere and eating outside on the New Year's Day, and many other people that you can see so much of gallons and gallons of alcohol being consumed in every city. So instead, a lot of people came and took the prasad, Mahaprasad, from the food counters yesterday and enjoyed that, relished that prasadam. So were fortunate, all were fortunate, even the devotees who were serving and devotees who were taking the prasadam and honoring the prasad. So therefore, as in human life, one has to approach the spiritual master and serve the spiritual master. By his association, one will be able to understand the purpose of life. So in that way, when you start serving the spiritual master, so you start getting the detachment from the material things. So once you start getting detachment from the material things, spiritual things will start entering into our within our heart. So endeavoring persistently, so our aim is to serve and satisfy the spiritual master, Guru and Krishna. So once one should becomes detached. So even if you are accepting a householder life, the varnashrama system is being followed. At certain age, after say around 50 years, you have to start detaching even from your wife and children and leave home. You can see the lot of examples are there in the Shastras. So even if you see, his father actually leaves home. In the Maharaj Nabhi actually leaves home. So handing over complete kingdom to Rishabhadev. So Rishabhadev actually also understands the life and how he has to manage. He managed according to the Shruti, Smriti, and Shastra. So in this way, if we do similarly, understanding Sadhu, Shastra, and Guru, serving the spiritual master, then we become also self-realized. A person who advances in the spiritual knowledge does not want to engage in the material activities. So these are some of the things that comes from the first verse of this particular verse, 8th verse. You can also see Devahuti and Kartava Munis that we have already read. Devahuti says, "My Lord, you have fulfilled all my promises you gave me, yet because I am your surrendered soul, you should give me fearlessness too." See, Devahuti, actually, Kartava Muni has showed everything to Devahuti. Devahuti nicely served her husband. He was a very great devotee of Lord. He served her husband. Actually, after that, Kardava Muni shows all the spiritual planets. He took a complete journey. So he took everything and showed everything to Devahuti. And Devahuti says, "My Lord, you have fulfilled all the promises that you gave me, yet because I'm your surrender soul, you should give me fearlessness too." So in the material world, actually, when Yudhishthira Maharaj was asked a question by Yama, what is the most wonderful thing in this world? He says, "Ahani, ahani, bhutani." That particular verse, I don't know the full verse, but he says, most wonderful thing in the world is a lot of people are dying, and we think that we don't have a death coming near to me at all. So I am actually deathless. That is the most wonderful thing in the world. That's what Yudhishthira Maharaj says. So it is important that we should understand the purpose of this life, human life. And once we understand this purpose of this human life, somewhere we have to come in touch with the devotees. So that's why once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has made it in the next verse, particularly in the next verse, he says, this planet is called Bharata Varsha because this is called Punya Bhumi, he says. At present moment, Bharata Bhumi or Bharata Varsha is a small piece of land extending from Himalaya mountains to Cape Comorin. Cape Comorin is like Kanyakumari. So sometimes this peninsula is called Punya Bhumi. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given special importance to this people of this land. Bharata Bhumi te haila manushya janma yara. Janma sarthaka kari kara para upakara. So once we have taken this knowledge, we have to also give this knowledge to others. We have to make our life perfect and give this life, make this life successful and work for the benefit of other people. Give this knowledge to others. So that is the reason Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has given this instruction to Srila Prabhupada. Please preach this to English-speaking world. Once you go and preach to English-speaking world, automatically everybody takes in India. This knowledge comes from West. See, you see lot of things are coming from West now. The dressing sense is coming from West. The food is coming from West. So many things are coming from West. Even yesterday, you could see pizzas are there, and so many things are there. Western foods. Pasta was made, noodles was made. They're all not Indian food. So they're all coming from, of course, we are actually offering it to Krishna and giving it as a prasad. But there are so many, items actually comes from there. So even though one has taken birth in this, as a human being, the land of India, Bharatavarsha, should make his life successful and work for the benefits of the other people. This is an instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is why a lot of people go for Harinam and preach. This particular month is called marathon, Prabhupada marathon we call. So a lot of knowledge is being distributed through the books. So even if you have Bhagavatam at home, it is as good as Krishna is residing at your home. That is why this particular month, Prabhupada marathon, devotees go outside and distribute the books. So we are very fortunate having been born in this particular Desha, Bharatavarsha. So we can actually very fortunate. We are all very fortunate coming in contact with the devotees, coming in contact with the lot of shastras from Prabhupada, and fortunately most of us have been in touch with our spiritual masters, and we have also taken the Harinam. So in that way, we are very fortunate. Somehow we have to hold that Harinam very sincerely. We have to chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is the only people actually, we don't have to be a scholarly person to read Bhagavatam or anything. But if you actually hold very tightly this Harinam, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, chant sincerely, that we can get out of this material cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited Srirangam, I think, that temple, there was one devotee, illiterate devotee. He was not even, he doesn't know even how to read, but he was having Bhagavad Gita in front of him. And continuously tears were flowing through the eyes. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, you don't even know how to read, but how come there's so much of tears are coming through your eyes? What is the reason? Then he says, see the picture of this Bhagavad Gita. See the picture of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is a servant of his devotee. Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead. He comes as a servant. He is serving as a chariot driver of Arjuna. Arjuna is a devotee and a friend, of course. So how come I'm not able to relish this? Krishna can come, he can come and help you if you are a nice devotee. If you are very nice devotee, Krishna will help you. So in that way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, actually Prabhupada mentioned this. So that is the very important, that we should catch hold of this Harinam. So human life is actually meant for God realization, not for enjoyment. We have already enjoyed in different lives. We don't know what you were in the last life and previous life and previous life and previous life. We don't know. But human life is there. What is the difference between the other life and this life? Because somehow we have got buddhi, intelligence. Buddhi actually can be used for discrimination. What is discrimination? What is good and what is bad? We can understand this. So this particular life is only for God realization, because we can only get out of this cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease. This is bad, because we were all with Krishna. Our original house is there, not in this material, not in Bangalore or anywhere. Even Purandaradasa says, "Allide nama mane, illiruvadu summane." Like that, our original house, home is there. So we all have to go back to our original home. I think that is the reason Vedanta Sutra, it is stated, Athato Brahma Jidnyasa. So anyone who takes birth in India, Bharatavarsha has a special privilege, being able to take advantage of the instruction and guidance of the Vedic civilization. That is very important. Fortunately, as I told you, we got this connection of devotees only when I was overseas. Somehow, whether I receive overseas or in India, somehow I was very fortunate to receive this message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Prabhupada when I was overseas. So once we receive this knowledge, at least, I've come into I'm very fortunate to come into the, getting the spiritual master and taking the Hare Krishna Mahamantra from him and so many things, this somehow we are all in the process actually. We're all sailing the same boat of understanding Vedic scriptures and chanting the Lord's names and trying to get out of this material world and go back home, back to Godhead. But Krishna says, even if you don't get the liberation from this material world, but at least you will get the opportunity. Niha vikramanashosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Trayate mahato bhayat is that at least you will get another life as a human being in the devotee's place, and you will get the opportunity right from your birth to complete your devotional service and get out of this material world. So very important is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, Janma sarthaka kari kara para upakar. If you are educated, if you are born in this particular Bharata Varsha, then you first understand this knowledge and then give this knowledge to others. So entire world today is in darkness. Although technologically we may say we have much forward country, that we have gone to moon, we are trying to go to Mangala Graha, and now they have left the understanding the Surya Graha and so many things. But whatever advancement that you have done, the world is in darkness because there is a scarcity of God consciousness. And the world is going very bad in terms of illicit sex, gambling, intoxication, meat eating, so many cows. Other day, from a place I saw in the news, that from the place there are so many cows are being taken, they're thrown inside the truck. They're not even kept nicely in the truck, they are just thrown one above the other in the truck. So it is going very sinful life. So that's the reason, you know, um, we have to educate these people somehow, because this is called a Sandhi Kala. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also has said that this is called 10,000 years is a Sandhi Kala, they call it. So whatever Krishna consciousness is prevalent, it can be prevalent only for the 10,000 years in the Kali Yuga. After that, it is still going to go very bad. So that is the reason we can only see, I think, because last 40 years back or 30 years back that we have seen how it was. And today, if you see the every new corner, there is a intoxication shop, there is gambling. There's so many in the school itself. I was reading in the news the other day, even 13, 14-year girls are getting pregnant. So that was not there before. So these are all, if you see, the Kali Yuga is actually going deterioration completely. People who are of my age, you can watch for this, because 30, 40 years, if you see the education in the school, if you see the education today in the school, lot of difference. So that is the reason we are very fortunate that come under the protection of Prabhupada. Prabhupada has built a house that we everybody is able to come and stay in that house. So we got a wonderful temple very close to our homes, and somehow it is made possible by the grace of spiritual master Guru and Gauranga, that we are able to associate with devotees and make our life successful. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advises this. It is a unique gift, he says. Prabhupada says it's a unique gift to be born in India. So that is why once please accept this, he says, because Bharatavarsha is a very, pavitra. Bharatavarsha is a very pavitra desh. That is the reason we have to make use of this. So, it says in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, there's a particular verse, 10:22 and 10:22-35. Etavad janma safalyam dehinam iha dehiso pranair arthair diya vacha shreya acharanam sada. It is the duty of every living being to perform welfare activities for the benefit of others with his life, wealth, and intelligence and words. So this is directly spoken by Lord himself. So on the request of his father, Rishabdev is an incarnation of Godhead. Bharata was crowned as king. He was married to Panchajani, daughter of Vishwarupa, with whom he fathered 5 sons: Sumati, Rashtrabrit, Sudarshana, Avarana, and Dhumraketu. They are also strictly practice the religious principles in his rule and his life. His father had also taught him to rule his subjects with the affection of a father for his children. So somehow yesterday I was actually got a picture of an aeroplane in that aeroplane pilot is the Hanuman, and Ram is getting down the airplane, and Modi is receiving him. Okay, whatever it is good that Rama temple is coming up after around 500 years. Hopefully in India, we can only keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully in India, Rama Raja will come. Hopefully, we only pray for it. And a lot of people become the devotees of Lord Ram and take the Krishna consciousness or Ram consciousness very seriously, so that, most people become devotees and get out of this material world. That's important. So with this, we are now closing it. Two very important things we can understand from these two verses is, just to summarize, that Rishabhadev actually showed us how to be a householder, how to be a student in the Gurukula, and how to lead a family life, and how to bring children up. So all the 100 childrens were nice devotees. So that is a thing that we can learn from this Smriti Purana. Then next verse he says, Bharata, he actually being born in Bharata Varsha, okay, he's actually son Bharata also ruled this kingdom, Bharata, and same as Rishabhadev. So that's why it is called Bharata Varsha. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction is, Bharata Bhumi te haila Manushya Janma Yara, Janma Sarthaka Kari Kara Upakar. So this is very important that we are being born in Bharata Bhumi. So get successful first, your life successful. Then Kara Para Upakar. So you have to also help others to become successful. These are the two important instructions that we have taken from this. This is takeaway. So thank you very much, Prabhu, for giving me an opportunity to speak. And Hare Krishna. If anybody wants to make any comments or anything, please do that.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. And these are wonderful reminders for the start of the year, especially from the Bhagavatam. And most important, probably we can take these as the resolutions also for the new year, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for sharing. I'll just unmute the lines for devotees so that they can ask their questions or comments. Hare Krishna devotees, the lines are open. You can unmute yourself. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavats Pranam. Having a darshan after a long time in Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. And very nicely you said that Ram is coming. I only wish there's no calamities and everything goes on. I think we should stand and then see that everything goes on well.
Thank you, Mataji. Please bless me.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srinidhi Govinda Prabhu. Thank you for wonderful nectar on the beginning of English calendar New Year, but for us, is every day it's a New Year. But we really blessed from your nectar today. Thank you.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, one question, if I may ask, Prabhuji.
Please, if I can answer.
This is to the point when where Mahaprabhu says, na, Janma Sarthaka Kari Kara Paropkar. So we should come first, Prabhuji. Should we do our Janma Sarthak first, and then do the Paropkar, or it can happen parallel?
Yeah, what is your question in that?
So question is, we should come first, whether we should prepare ourselves, wait, and then do Paropkar, or again start preaching.
That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. One who has taken his birth as a human being in the land of India should make his life successful first and work for the benefit of other people. That's what he says. First, we should make our life successful. Means our life successful means, see, once you have come under the spiritual master, guidance of spiritual master, you have taken the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra very sincerely, then you can go and preach. Kara para upakar. So you should also bring people under the fold of Prabhupada. So what happens then? At least they can also come, and even if they can do little, swalpa mapyasya dharmasya, even if they can do little, even if they say Krishna once, so that is a upakar. That is that we can do. Even if they read one verse, one word from the verse, says one word from one verse in Bhagavad Gita, and that itself is a great upakara for them. So that's very important.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so
Hare
much.
Krishna.
Devotees, any other questions or comments?
Prabhuji,
Hare
can I
Krishna,
add
Prabhu, Dandavat
on
Pranam.
what
Thanks for
Srinidhi-
the wonderful class, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Ha, Prabhu?
Say, Prabhu, what you rightly answered, it's wonderful. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says, Yara Deko Tareho Krishna Upadesha. That is our ultimate goal. Similarly, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also says that one who preaches my glories, they definitely come back. There's no doubt on that.
Correct.
So, Paropakara does, of course, we are like Prabhupada also says, we have to simultaneously, but one who does Paropakara, definitely better chance of, going back to Krishna.
Correct, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. I think we'll end the class, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can end with the
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you all devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Meet tomorrow. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.